Violence erupted in my urban neighborhood. My family and I were forced to get out of Dodge. So here we are in our camper, somewhere in the woods. I think we might be in National Forest. It just got crazy out there. They were just rioting and burning and looting and just destroying everything. Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. This is a scenario that some people may be faced with. So just so you know, it's a scenario. So I'm going to keep on playing along those lines. So what I'm talking about now, you know I don't live in an urban neighborhood. I live rural. But I'm going to continue the video from now speaking like I'm still in the scenario. But first, before I continue the scenario, if you guys could please subscribe, hit that thumbs up, share the videos, comment below, and if you feel like supporting the channel by donation, that little heart with a thanks in it, you can hit that and donate to help the cause, to support the channel and me and my family. Okay, back to the scenario. Yeah, my wife and I, we barely got out. I mean, it was just crazy. There were just hundreds, if not thousands, of people just throwing Molotov cocktails, burning everything. They were burning all the buildings. They were in our neighborhood. Our neighbor's house is on fire. We were thinking about trying to help them. We grabbed what supplies we could, jumped in the camper. There was, luckily it was already loaded up and ready to go. Luckily, we thought ahead a little bit, so I had, a couple, each of our bug out bags. We threw them in here. We have some canned goods in here. We have some dry goods in here. We have some medical supplies, some toiletries and stuff like that, but it's very limited. I had to leave almost all my food storage behind. I do have a couple caches in different locations that we're going to have to try to find here eventually and dig up and retrieve those caches. I had to leave my garden, my animals, and it wasn't much, but I just, we live in an urban neighborhood, so we just had, I had some different plants growing and stuff like that, so it's not that big a deal really, but if people, if you got more going on, then, you're going to have to leave more behind. I wish I would have had a really good bug out location. I know I listened to different prepper channels and, especially that guy over in Asymmetrical Preparedness, and he talked about, having a primary bug out location, an alternate and tertiary, and caches and all this stuff like that, and I never prioritized it enough to actually make it happen. So here we are. We got what's in, the truck. We had a get home bag in the truck. I had a case of waters in the truck, a case of MREs, some recovery tools, some chains, some straps, stuff like that. I think we ended up, I think my son grabbed a case of soda. I don't know why. We have, I grabbed my kit, so I have actually I have two IFAKs because I grabbed my son grabbed his kit, and my wife grabbed her kit. So actually we have three IFAKs. We do have a med bag that we grab, but as far as food goes, I'd say we're in the situation right now where we may have a month of food. We have some rations and different things like that, but I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go because I went to the nearest woods is what I could think of. I don't know if the violence spreads and people moving out of those areas or leaving like I did is going to put the woods into a dangerous situation. And it's difficult because another thing I never took seriously is I never took seriously building tribe. And quick note, if you're watching this video and you didn't hear the part where I said this is a scenario, this is a scenario. This is not me and my situation. I'm talking to you like I'm a third person in a theoretical situation. So back to it. I never worked on tribe. Michael over at Asymmetrical Preparedness talks about building tribe and how important it is and stuff like that. And I listened and I knew it was important. And I tried a couple times, but I failed. And so I just kind of gave up. And so now I don't know who to call. I don't know who to rely on. I don't know where I can go to get help. I don't know anything. I'm out here with my family, my wife and two kids, and I don't know what we're gonna do to survive. I don't know. I don't even have any seeds to plant stuff, so I can't even. We have a bag of potatoes, a 10-pound bag of potatoes in here, and a 10-pound bag of onions. maybe I could plant some of those if we get to a location where it allows planting, but there's trees and stuff all over the place. There's no real good, it's pretty dense, no real good place to plant trees or to plant a garden or anything. I guess we're going to have to figure something out. And in the short term, I can go hunting. I do have, defensive tools and accoutrements. So my kit, my bags, stuff like that. So I pretty soon, as soon as I get, done talking here, I'm going to have to go grab my stuff and go out into the woods and see if I can get myself a deer or something like that. I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things I'm worried, we're still quasi within rule of law, I guess. And so, I don't know, can I shoot a deer and, not in deer season? I mean, I got to feed my family and I don't want to go back to, I don't know what's behind me now. I don't know if the whole city's burned down. I don't know if everybody's dead. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if martial law has been declared. It's just, man, I wish I really would have listened to those prepper channels telling me to, get my bug out stuff situated. I mean, I'm pretty well situated compared to most people. Even some people would have jumped in their Civic and just driven to the mountains and they wouldn't have had anything. So we at least got, a place to sleep, shelter. I have a vehicle in good working order. I have, extra fuel for it, stuff like that. I got full propane tanks in here. So we can, we'll be okay for a little while, but I'm worried if it's a long-term thing because I don't have the supplies. I don't know where to go. I don't know if we should go deeper into the mountains. At some point, I'm going to have to go back and check things out, but then what do? What happens if I get caught? What happens if something happens to me? My family's left behind without anybody to protect them. How do I keep guard 24 hours a day? I don't have anybody. I never established a tribe. How do I... Man, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. My job is to provide for my family and protect my family. And I really wish I would have listened to those channels, those prepper channels telling me to, I took a lot of their advice, but the big things like, I guess, tribe and, bug out locations and stuff like that, I always just thought that those were, I'll never have to bug out type thing. I should have, since I live, in an urban neighborhood. But I guess I need to stop worrying about regrets, and I need to suck it up, and I need to figure out what's going on. Another thing we never really learned about was foraging. We do have a book. I think it's in here. I think it's up in the cupboard up there about foraging because we're planning on, sometime going camping in this and practicing foraging. So we're going to have to get that out because I don't know anything about it. And we're going to have to go try to forage some food because the food we have won't last that long. And like I said, hunting and stuff like that. But that's not a very good plan because if this does turn into a longer term event, it's not going to be sustainable. So, pause. We're still in a scenario. Remember, this isn't me. I'm speaking hypothetically, third person type scenario. Fictional character. It's kind of like a story. Okay. Just remember that. I'm not talking about me. I know about foraging and all this stuff. So anyway, let's get back to the scenario. Okay. My parents lived, in the next town over. I don't know what happened to them, or the next, they lived across town, I guess, in the city, and but that was where the epicenter of the violence was, and they're in their 70s. So I don't know what to do. I don't have the ability to go get them. I'm by myself. I can't really protect even what we have. And I wish I would have kept my, I'm glad that I have extra fuel cans in the bed of my truck because I also didn't listen to the fact of trying to keep my fuel tank in my vehicle at least half, if not 3/4 full at all time. Unfortunately, it was a quarter full. We were able to get here, but I did have to put in 1 can of fuel. So now I only have 3 cans left, so I can't be making trips back and forth all the time. And pulling this thing, I'm not going to get as far as I would without it. But I need this. I'm really glad that I did take the time and to get something like this trailer, this camper, and a good truck. So I guess looking back, I did some things right, but there's a lot of stuff I could have done better. Wish I had more caches. I wish I had a better idea about, at least about a bug out location, where I could go, where is safe, what the threats are, growing food. And if I would have had, another thing, if I would have had planned in advance and had specific bug out locations identified, I could have guerrilla gardened those locations. I could have planted a bunch of stuff, bunch of seeds, drew some artichokes, some of those invasive species that are edible. And then when we bugged out, depending on the time of year, we would have food. But that's one of those things I know people talk, like the Jerusalem artichokes are a great thing because you pretty much have food year round because they're a tuber. Even if they're dead, you know where they're planted, you'd find the stalks, and you'd be able to dig them up. And they'd grow back year after year. So that's a good thing, and I wish I would have done that. Okay. Scenario over. That could be the reality for a lot of people, or for some people. Me and other prepper channels have been talking about stuff like this for a long time, about the preparations needed for bugging out if you're forced out due to whatever the situation may be. If it's not safe to stay in your house or in your area, then get out. But if you're not prepared to bug out somewhere, have a location idea, have supplies, then you're not really going to be improving your situation by bugging out. You may be extending your life for a little while, but you're not really going to be able to make it unless you're actually prepared. The potential for really intense, chaotic violence over the summer is highly possible. So I hope you guys think about things like this, scenarios. Even if you think where you are, like me, where I am, that they're not going to get here. Okay, but what if they do? Well, I am ready for that. Will I be able to take all my preps? No, of course not. But I'll be able to take, I could take, all I'll have with me when I bug out, a 6-month supply of food for my family. Will I have that much water? No, of course not. But I live in the Pacific Northwest. There's lakes, streams, rivers everywhere. And I know where they're at. So I can replenish my water. And I have seeds ready to bug out. And gear and shelter and etc., etc., etc. Extra fuel, extra propane. Well-stocked pantry. Are my plans and everything I have in place perfect? No, they're not. But they're pretty good. And they're always being improved upon. So that's really all we can do. I hope you guys, when you're watching this video, you think about, man, I don't want to be in that scenario. I don't want that to be me. And you start taking action. Start taking action now. Make it a priority to improve your ability to bug out. I get it. It's not optimal. I don't want to bug out either. I'd much rather bug in. But if you're forced to bug out, then you got to be ready for it. Because you're not going to be improving your situation by bugging out if you're not prepared to bug out. So just think about these things, please. And like I said, please subscribe, hit the like button, share the videos, comment below. Yes. And check us out on Patreon. A lot of stuff there, a lot of videos there will help you in regards to this situation and dealing with defensive and protective type scenarios. So I love you guys very much. I want you to succeed. I'm hoping that I'm empowering you guys and getting you guys to think for yourselves. I can't do it for you. You got to do it for yourself. But I hope I'm helping a little bit. And tribe. Very, very important. Have a wonderful day. And blessings to you and yours.